lame?
Yeah, she is lame. Welcome to Comics League Dark. I'm Jared. I'm here with Robert. What's up, man?
Yo.
And today we are talking about, so there's been a renewing of the debate between comics and manga, annoyingly.
Annoyingly so. And I don't blame, I don't think it was Jim Lee's intent for the reignite it in this way.
No, absolutely not. But it's like, it'd be because, of course, you have the same people saying comics beat manga because of this, because of this, because of this. I'm like, you're overly simplifying the argument.
Exactly. I'm so tired of people doing that.
So here's what Jim Lee. So again, so what we're saying is that, hey, what's up, NJ and Cameron? Recently, Jim Lee made some statements online about why manga outsells DC. I mean, outsells American comics in general. And one of the things that he was talking about is that, first off, you really have to go with the culture of Japan, because in Japan, the manga is straight up like considered like fine reading, and it's not looked down upon like comics are here.
Now, granted, I would say comics are in a better place than they were before.
And DC themselves is in a pretty good spot because of like, and because like the absolute universe and stuff. Marvel, let's not even talk. Marvel is on full on life support.
Well, yeah, but I'm more talking about how people, there was a point where people thought comics were purely just for kids.
Yeah, and then you got books like Watchmen and DKR come out when all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, you can tell mature stories with these things.
But it's not, but it's still in that zeitgeist still.
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing that DC particularly has done that Marvel tried to copy, but they really haven't, are the compact comics. Because while these are not like manga formatted, like you don't have to read them backwards, they're in the manga size, so people can, like, I hesitate to say get confused and confuse these for manga, but it's a similar like concept.
Exactly. And let's also be honest. It's like with Marvel, it's because DC's doing such a good job, they don't want to imitate them. That's the reason why you know that their trade division is sabotaging it. And kept like jacking up the price and everything.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, like, Marvel used to lead the way with like the epic collections and stuff that were like the trade paperbacks to get for like storylines. But then DC comes out with like the world's finest, and like everyone's like, oh my gosh, see, these are better.
And of course, let's be honest, people were loving. Remember when they used to have the Essentials, which was the black and white, very cheap version, and then they got rid of them.
Yeah, what is it about Marvel that whenever they have something that people like, they take it away?
Granted, I can see their argument is that, oh, but who wants black and white?
A lot of people do, as a matter of fact. That's an actual, and plus, if you want to like get some of that manga crowd, black and white comics do that.
Yep.
So what are you doing? But it's like the first thing that you really have, and second off, the thing about the manga versus comics debate is that it's largely, the thing about it that I've noticed, and this is just anecdotal evidence for sure, but whenever I've gone to like Florida SuperCon and stuff, I started to see recently more comic book stuff and less manga. So it could be comics are getting a resurgence in the fandom.
That is true. But here's something else people have to remember when it comes to manga. Manga is reliant on how many and what are the mainstream animes and mangas. And we're losing a lot of them.
Yeah, they're all ending.
So many of them are ending or have already ended. You know, ever since Demon Slayer ended, it's when everything started coming to a close more and more. And they really haven't filled the gap much.
Well, here's the other thing about comics versus manga when everyone forgets. So, all right, Robert, what's the main advantage that mainstream like big two comics have over manga?
Legacy, history.
Yeah, exactly.
The crossovers.
Yeah, because you really don't have that unless the creators want to do it, but you really don't have like Demon Slayer showing up in Dragon Ball.
The only time you have if they're all under the same publishing division and the publisher decided, oh yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, but it's like with comics, you have that long history, which granted that you could say, and there are some people that say like maybe a little bit of it could be like taken as like a disadvantage because to get into like, let's say Attack on Titan, read
volume number 1
and keep going. Where with now here's the thing. I do think it's kind of disingenuous when a lot of the people that argue in favor of manga bring up, well, to understand Batman, you have to go back to Detective 27. I go,
no, you don't.
DC has provided many jumping on points, and also, even if you want to say you want a completely beginning point, New 52.
Yep, you could do New 52
even if you want that, or like any of the jumping on points. Really, just go to when the current writer's run begins.
Exactly. But of course, that's the other thing. People say, oh, but it's one vision, one thing. Yes, that's true. But you want to know a case of a vision where the creator actually had to be influenced by their editors?
Okay.
Akira Toriyama, and the Android Saga.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything about Cell was brought about by the editor. Originally, he's like, the android. We see this old man and a clown. Then the editor's like, those aren't the real androids, though, right? Oh, then they sell that. They're like, that's not enough. He creates Cell. Oh, yeah, but that's not its perfect form, is it? Shows another form. Yeah, but that's not the final form. And then we finally got perfect Cell.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like...
Now, granted, it ended up working for the best. But let's be honest. He was still under the whim of his editor.
Yeah, and the other thing, I want to go back to what you said earlier, because yes, comics are somewhat dependent upon the movies nowadays. But comics are less dependent on the movies as manga are in the anime here.
Well, yeah, because usually it's the other way around.
Usually it's definitely the other way around. Obviously in Japan, it's another story where the manga's like on their own and they're fine. They're fine. Also, when people bring up, I love when people bring up that like at their Barnes and Noble, there's like massive walls of manga. That's hyper dependent on the place you go.
The location. That's hyper dependent on the location. It's not like Borders where they had a set, restricted number. No, they base it based off of their location. Can I tell you this? I have a Barnes and Noble that has more comics than it does manga.
Yeah, and the reason why is because with what Barnes and Noble did that saved them as a company is they let the individual staff determine what they want to stock and how much of it.
Yeah, because they judge it based off of their customers.
Yeah, so if there's happen to be more manga customers there, it makes business sense for that store to have more manga.
But it doesn't mean that but people are so used to the Borders mindset, that's why they think it's everyone.
Is Korean comics considered manga too? No. Manga is the Japanese comic that you have to read backwards.
Yep. Wait, let me grab one.
I also have one as well. Where's my Batman manga? I actually have manga here. Yes, I am a dweeb. That is correct. I'm trying to find where it is on my shelf though. I'll get it later. Oh, okay, there you go. Speed Racer.
Or Speed Racer, Maki Go.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's the thing there. But it's like,
and here's the funny thing is, did you know that the creator passed away well into all the series? Like he passed away in the 70s, and yet he's the reason we have Gatchaman.
Yeah,
which was Battle of the Planets.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing that I know that I've seen people say on YouTube and Twitter, we might as well address it. There's a portion of the internet that says that the reason why manga outsells sells American comics is because manga's not woke.
Here's the thing: when people are comparing the mainstream stuff, that's the thing. That's the mainstream stuff. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of stuff that never reaches mainstream.
Well, the other thing on that is because the structure of manga, there's like completely different genres, whereas American comics just try and like smash it all together.
Exactly. And I had another mind talking point. Hold on, what was it? You keep going. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, but so it's like, but essentially what it is, it's like because there's multiple genders, there's multiple like genres, you can have all that stuff separated. That's why it looks like there's no woke stuff, but it's just this other genre. Now I know. Yeah, go ahead.
Now I remember. But yeah, but then you also have the fact, here's something else people also forget. People and all the mangas have all this creative freedom. Do you realize how much they're screwed over and have to keep working constantly?
Really?
Oh, dude, they get screwed more than a lot of people in American comics. And yet, because it's manga, everyone is just saying, oh yeah, but let them do it. Treat these creative manga cards like dirt, as long as we're getting these final products. I'm sorry, there are a lot of people who are saying that crap.
Yeah, exactly. But
I'm sorry, the fact that these people don't care about the actual manga cards at all.
Elementa says, here's the thing about the mainstream manga, have woke stuff like One Piece has multiple queer characters. But yeah, so it's like they have it. It's just people, it's just the commentators on YouTube don't say it because that undermines their argument about
or they
manga
deny
being
it.
better. It's like, remember, there are people that have said, at least in this chat, that that only Eastern companies should handle superheroes from now on.
Superhero video games, anyway.
Or like comics as well. And I go, no, that's not the way it works. No.
Yeah, and again, they would come up with a different sensibility compared to the Western sensibilities.
Yeah, and then Cameron says, yes, they get screwed over. Like authors say, they have many ideas what they want to do, but editorial is the final.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll say this. I think the manga comics get screwed over than Western creators.
Yeah, NJ asks, is Devil May Cry manga? No,
that's a video game first. Anything with the manga is more like a comic adaptation.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that's the other thing. It's like, even though that like it's relatively like the mangakas get like, I mean, here's the thing. There's a misconception that the mangakas get way more like freedom and stuff than American comic book people. And according to this, no, they don't.
No, they don't. Like I said, I brought up Akira Toriyama. Now, granted, he got more creative freedom depending on what editor he had. Like when he got to the Boo Saga, some could say he had too much freedom because, good Lord, that ended up being longer than the entirety of the other sagas beforehand.
Hang on. It's about to get hot in here. Jay-Hee!
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight?
Hey, we were just bringing up a point. Would you agree that it's a misconception to say mangakas have unlimited freedom, especially depending on the editor? Because I'll just bring up Toriyama. Cell Saga compared to Boo Saga.
Okay, yes, I would say that is a misconception because even if manga has more versatility and variety, everything still has to be editorially approved at the end of the day, especially when you're working for a major magazine like Shueisha. So
Yeah,
it just depends on what we're talking about.
Why do people keep thinking?
No,
all right.
I'll admit it's more lax compared to the big two, but that's not by much.
Not by much at all.
But if we're going off the Cell Saga and Boo Saga specifically, Cell Saga Toriyama was bombarded by his editorial staff at the time. So that's not even a fair comparison. As for the Boo Saga, Toriyama was going to wrap up OG because the original Dragon Ball manga has no Z portion. That was a rebrand for the anime. So so Toriyama was the original run of the manga was going to end with the Boo Saga anyway. So Toriyama was a household name. Dragon Ball it was arguably his most successful franchise. He was burned out after committing to that series for a decade and a half.
Getting a different editor too.
Multiple editors. Long story short, Toriyama was gonna go back to his old tried and formula of being a comedic manga because again he did do gag mangas first, and it was just a return to form and kind of a wrap up for the series.
But my point was though he was probably giving a bit too much for him because be honest, the fact that Boo Saga lasted the entire Boo Saga was longer than all three prior sagas put together.
Volume wise, yes, but in terms of if we're not counting filler or transition chapters, yeah,
it was longer than the other ones put together.
Yeah, and so I want to get some comments. That's why a ton of weebs who obviously got into manga in 2020 in the 2010s complain about how Japan gone woke whenever an openly queer character happens to be appears like they have reacted to all these other characters. Yeah, it's like this stuff has existed before. But by the way, NJ says, is cultural difference an important factor? Yes, that is true because again,
yes, America
looks down on there's comics in America still have that like
stigma.
Yeah, stigma. As Jim Lee said, in Japan, manga is considered like fine reading.
Now, here's something else I realized. why the people are perfectly okay with acknowledging the lesbianism in Sailor Moon and yet not call that woke?
No, because first of all, that's a core aspect of the story of Sailor Moon. The
But
only reason,
if it's a core aspect in other modern stuff, they'll call it woke.
like I said, it's all about execution. Because at least, first of all, the only time I ever saw Sailor Moon was from my niece when she was a baby. Don't ask. Don't ask. Just don't ask. But
You're making it tempting to ask.
I will not answer.
I want to ask. I'm asking, Jay. I'm asking.
What's there to ask? Is a typical anime girl series filled with power of friendship and all that other genre.
Fair enough.
So it's like ponies then.
Yeah.
No comment.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, Jay.
You're getting a little choppy. You're getting a little choppy, Jay Heat.
But I'm not gonna. But if what? Yeah. Okay, hold on. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is fine. Hold on, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can. We can.
Okay, hold on. Oh, y'all can hear me now?
I think so.
You're
Yeah.
good. You're good now.
Okay. Make it a long story short, but basically,
You're like,
a lot of that boiled down to censorship because at least from the 4Kids, a lot of anime were butchered by 4Kids. A lot of anime does were butchered by 4Kids, but yeah, they censored that down but at least with that aspect, it just depends on how much. Okay, let me just drop the Sailor Moon thing because that's a more nuanced example. Basically, if you're only used to mainline or shonen shows, you're not going to see that type of thing that much unless it's played up as a gag. You're just not going to see it that much.
True. That is true. But I'll say this. Here's another example of something that people forget that Japan has done this stuff. Even Nintendo has done it. When you look at Paper Mario, that one character that's supposed to be trans or cross-dressing, whatever, and yet people said because when it came to America, they nixed that entirely.
Oh, it was censored. It was censored as hell in the American release. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, but then you have people try to say that was what it was in the original Japan, and they say no, it wasn't because they never do that. It's like you guys are idiots.
Right. Is it the same thing of when people were complaining that in Marvel Rivals they didn't focus on any of the queer characters for the Valentine's Day thing?
Well, that's different. That's different because one, where's NetEase located in?
The other thing is NetEase addressed this and they said we just used the couples that Marvel told us to use.
And I'll tell you this: I bet you Marvel's smart enough to know. Yeah, we're not going to push a Chinese company to do anything queer.
Exactly.
But speaking, did you already cover the Marvel Rivals controversy with the 40K contest already?
Oh, no, we have not. He's talking about that one team who basically harassed one of their teammates to get when all he asked was one of them was playing as Magic and she was 0 and 4. You know what that means? As in 0 kills and 4 or 5 deaths. So he said, "Did you swap?" They gave him grief and then basically even said, "We're in this for the vibes, not the money." But he was in it for the money, which was 40K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's like, and everyone has since turned on not the guy, but everyone else involved because it's like, no, if it's like one of the regular tournaments where you just get units, yeah, that's for fun, that's for the vibe. If you're in it for maybe like a amount of money that everyone gets regardless, that's fine. When it's something that's an absolute, if you reach it to the top, you get this full amount of money. Cash prize.
That's a competition at that point.
Yeah, but then these people were like, we're in it for the vibes.
Now, it's one thing to get roped in a bad team in these type of contests. It's another to get completely roasted online. I'm just like, and this were actual social media moguls. These were people who actually get monetized outside of YouTube, full on Twitch sponsors and everything. It was bad.
And like that though, one of them was proven to be an absolute man-hater. A literal man-hater.
Like, are we talking like in terms of resenting men in general, or just talks a lot of crap online?
No.
And
then it was Cece. That was Cece, the team leader. If you actually look into her tweets, she is a bona fide man hater.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
If you look her up, she is a bona fide man hater, and that explains even more so why she was hostile to this guy.
Oh, geez. Wow.
And again, to the point where the guy was like, again, the guy wanted his share for college tuition, and they mocked him for it. They mocked him for wanting the money.
Cameron says, also, I just want to bring up how some say comics should do what manga does with their genres. I'm sorry, but something like DxD, if you know, you know, is not getting into the big two anytime soon.
No.
Okay, explain. I have no idea what that means.
Robert, you go first.
No, you go ahead. You probably explain it better than I can.
Okay, Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. First of all,
DxD is
that
okay.
No.
Yeah, that's fan service.
Oh no.
Okay, let me put it this way. Jared, have you ever heard of the anime High School of the Dead?
No.
Oh, that's another one where it's like all basically big titty anime girls dealing with the zombie apocalypse.
Dweeb.
How can we get through this without getting demonetized? Like, I'm sorry, I'm not.
Yes,
just feeling
please,
bad
boys. I get the feeling this is gonna get me demonetized. Hey, what's up, Tevia? Preserve the integrity of my channel, gentlemen.
It's kind of hard.
Figure it out.
No, I didn't realize the joke. It's kind of hard.
Figure it out.
No, Jared. You get the joke. I'm just saying.
Anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Let's just mute Robert.
Did you get the joke?
We get the
joke. Say it in the private chat. Say in the private chat, and I'll react to it.
All right.
John Jones says Jared should watch High School DxD. I don't know if that's the thing I want to. I gotta ask Fritz, because Fritz the person that'll tell me if this is an anime that I should watch.
No.
I would not. No. I mean, you can if you want to, but
you can if you're willing to turn your brain off.
I appreciate the energy, but no.
But he has a point there. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people who say that stuff are the people who want the hot and sexy stuff.
Britt's here. Yeah, exactly.
Roll the clip.
Do I want
Roll the clip.
I got it.
He's back.
Yeah.
I mean, it is filthy, but it's a dumb, fun filthy. Is what we're trying to say. But
so
the point is,
I'm not gonna get like raided by the FBI if I watch it.
No.
Not
that type. No. First of all, even though it's called high school, they're all like seniors. So it's like
the psychos just keep getting younger.
You're just making it worse.
I figured that was appropriate. I've been waiting for the proper time to use that drop.
Robert, are you okay?
Yeah.
It's crazy trying to talk about this.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what can we talk about?
Okay, Cameron, don't tempt him. Cameron, please.
Law is not the law. I am the law.
Britt, you're all gonna scar Jared.
Okay.
This conversation is scarring me, Britt.
In all honesty, when it comes to this type of stuff, with these animes, when people are saying, like I said, they are wanting the fan service up the wazoo is what they want.
Not to mention, it's a different style of anime. These are promotional shows for light novel adaptations. Ones that are strictly manga are a bit different and are heavily toned down. With light novels, you can get away with a bit more, but it depends.
Sometimes there are actually ones that are mangas that are based off of anime. It's like, it's the other way around. If it's an anime first and they get a manga, because I can see it. One of my favorite animes. Favorite Marinette Day.
Britt has the best description. It's Bomb Queen.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay. Bomb Queen times 10, but not in the raunchiness, but more in the sex appealness.
So it's Bomb Queen meets The Boys, is what you're telling me.
Not that far.
No,
not
that
far. The Boys.
No. It's Bomb Queen meets Shaun of the Dead.
I've never
That's
seen
fair.
Shaun of the
Yeah.
Dead, so I don't understand that.
You've never seen Shaun of the Dead.
No.
Oh god.
We gotta watch
Okay.
that on a Saturday. We have to watch that.
I can't justify that wouldn't work with the comic book audience,
say-
guys.
Edgar Wright. The guy
No.
who did Ant-Man was going to do
Still wouldn't
Ant-Man.
work. Still wouldn't work.
Darn it.
We can't justify it, man. He's PG. His content's strictly PG-13.
Good
man.
point,
We can't-
good
No,
point,
not,
good point.
not that, but it's because no one's gonna search for that with my channel. So it's like,
Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point.
but
Save
the
that for a
point-
member
Leave
stream.
it this way: it's very raunchy.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
John Jones says Jared has a lot of things he needs to watch. I don't know if I want anything you guys recommend. If you're trying to push me to watch this,
Okay.
what is wrong with my audience?
It's
the
more.
fact that this is live. The fact that this
Okay,
is live.
Let me put it this way. I would rather you watch High School of the Dead than watching something like School Days.
Why would you reference that?
All right, Jay Heat
Am I
remembers
wrong?
this. Jay Heat remembers.
What out of
this,
anything you could have referenced that? Why, Robert?
Because it makes my point. Because it makes my point.
Jay Heat remembers this, but years ago we did a discussion back when Nick was still doing content with us, where it was on our favorite anime, and when Nick explained to me with the concept of the anime student teacher.
Senpai, you mean?
Oh, and by the way, Tevye asked, "What is School Days?" Oh
No,
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 nope. John Jones is like, "Not School Days."
Don't even look it up. Do not even look it up.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I don't want the
No,
FBI to be
no.
banging down my
Ignorance
No.
is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. That one is
Tevye, for the love of God, do not look it up.
If the gore won't scar you, the cringe definitely will. Jesus
God, for
Christ.
the love of God,
Oh, my
do
God.
not.
It's when you don't anything but that. Oh my god. Yeah, it's like that's the funny part. It's
Duly
like
noted.
that's the funny part. It's like I text Britt and I'm like, this is I text Britt like weird. Like occasionally anime scenes will come on my page and I'll send her like a clip and I'll go, the hell is this? And she goes, see, this is why I need to be more selective of what anime I send you, because there's some stuff that is like crazy.
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah, exactly. But yeah, so back on track, shall we? To
Back
get off.
on- Okay, but here's the thing. Also, people have to remember about when it comes in all seriousness.
Good.
When it comes to manga, people and the thing is that there is a manga for just about anything and everything, and a lot of them for the manga cause and all that stuff. They don't. And for some of them that put them out there, they're putting them out there because they already have a day job, and it's just for funsies.
All right, Britt says, watch Rosario v. Vampire.
That
Okay,
one's not bad, but the manga is better.
All right,
Right.
What anime have I seen? Okay, here's the anime that I have seen. Halo Legends, Mass Effect Paragon Lost. I've seen most of Attack on...
shows.
I've seen most of Attack on Titan, a-hole.
Oh yeah, we did do an anime. You and I did a review on Black.
Yes, we did.
That was years ago.
I'm not a Dragon Ball guy, even though I probably should, because I mean, I watched the live action movie. Does that count?
God dang it! God dang it!
Does that count?
Okay, you're just trolling Robert at this point.
that movie's about as good as Lois Lane. Had to.
That movie's a crime against cinema.
What other? Oh, I've watched Punisher, Black Widow, Avengers.
Okay. Actual anime, not westernized thing. People
because that's the one. That's like the least likely I'll see a tentacle. Okay. I don't want that.
Just know, Jared, you are not going to get monetized for this one. I'm just telling you now.
I'm already monetized, brother. So
no, you are not going to get anything from this video because this
YouTube, it's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault.
Shalom T29. Shalom.
Hey, what's up, T29? But yeah.
Oh boy. I'm just looking at some of the mangas I do have, and
okay.
Boy. There's one I'm considering showing, but I don't know.
Will it get me shut down, Robert?
Put it in the private chat. Put it in the private chat.
I'm just gonna show the cover. It's not gonna show any images. All right.
It's not gonna show any images. That sounds
no. I'm just gonna show the cover.
Gotta get you culture. Hey, excuse me, miss. I've never wars until she met me.
Okay. While we're waiting on that, Mostly mainstream stuff with me: Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, mainline stuff. What I grew up with. Now Uzumaki is not bad. Uzumaki is not bad.
No, but it can be twisted, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, it gets dark in places. Okay.
In places.
Okay, which is
I
darker?
love how Robert emphasized the in places.
Which is darker, Uzumaki or Berserk? You tell me.
Berserk is darker for completely different reasons, dude.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, Jared.
What's Zom 100?
Jared.
No idea.
This is serious, Jared. I cannot stress this enough. Do not go to Berserker if you have not watched any other anime before. Bleed yourself into Berserk.
Do not. Yeah, I have to agree with him. Do not. People were trying to give suggesting that to Tristan. Even I was like, no, Tristan, no.
Don't watch it. I've watched anime before.
Watch it. Build yourself up to it, because Berserk will scar you if you go in fresh.
Why would I want to watch media that part of the marketing is this will scar you?
Because first of all, Berserk is an adult series.
It is great written.
Oh, adult series. Thanks, Jay Heath. That makes it loads better.
Adult rated, not that kind of adult series.
John Jones says Jared should read Berserk, but only have you seen a few anime? Oh, here's a great anime series of films I watched. Remember the Godzilla anime?
Oh God dang it!
Those are tie-in series, but okay.
There's a really bad one where they show up on Earth millions of years in the future, and like Ghidorah is like a spirit.
The whole point at the end was humanity has to die off, and we have to mate with bug people.
Okay, demonetization aside.
What the hell's up with this stuff?
Berserk is an adult scaled series. Most mainline anime you know about is shonen, which is basically adolescent to teenage age. Then you have the girl-centric anime series, and then you have strictly adult anime called shenen, or apology if I mispronounce that, shenen series, which mostly falls into, well, Berserk. Technically, Attack on Titan would classify as that. But
Shonen and Genshoen. There's Shonen and Shonen.
Shonen, thank you. But I know Berserk is a Shonen series for sure.
Right, here's another manga.
Isekai stories are light novels, Tevia.
There's a one anime. I prefer the anime over the manga, but I just want to show because I can't grab my stuff. Saber Marionette J. You ever heard of this one, J Heat?
I've heard about it, but I've never watched it.
Basically,
watch Food Wars. Do I want begun the Food Wars? How?
Okay, hear me out before you react, please. When I talk about the plot for this, all right?
Oh boy, this is dangerous.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a world far off from Earth and populated entirely by men. They procreate through genetic, cloning and everything. So basically, any type of person that exists is a clone or a genetic recreation of some original progenitor man. But they have all these robots called marionettes, who are the representative of the females. They're usually stuff for like caregivers or other things, depending on.
Why am I not surprised?
That's more emphasized in the manga than it is the anime. All right, the manga does that more so than the anime does.
Why am I not surprised?
You have a main character named Otaru, who ends up finding these three marionettes that have something called a maiden circuit, which allows each of them to have a different type of personality. Lime here, for example, is a bit more childish, not like a child, but I'm just saying childish.
Robert,
watch it. Tread very carefully, Robert.
No. That's why I correct him. That's why I specified saying she's more like this type of naive type of character.
Jesus Christ! Out of anything you could have referenced.
Oh, here's another anime I watched. Yu-Gi-Oh! Does that count?
Yes. No, okay, and guys, it's not as bad as you. I'm trying.
It's all good, Robert. It's all good. It's just so funny. It's funny whenever we're talking about anime or manga, we have to be very careful of our phrasing.
I will. Okay, let's deviate from that topic. Yu Yu Hakusho is a masterpiece.
Through. You looking forward to the death battle with Ichigo from Bleach versus Yu Yu?
That is coming up,
right,
but that's gonna be a close one.
Explain Food Wars.
It's a cooking show, but it's a cooking show,
of course.
But I will admit, some of the
Dweeb.
some of the scenes are have a few innuendos in them. I will say that. I will be honest on that.
Hey, once again,
Psychos just keep getting younger.
definitely discounts.
Yep, I would say that.
Or
Finland is amazing according to Teladia.
Vinland Saga is pretty good.
Akira.
Everyone knows Akira.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious there.
All
It's
right,
like at the very least, I know it because of the Akira slide.
Now-
NJ says, well, what's the situation with European comics? Do they have a strong industry there? They do, kind of.
It's
To an
different
extent.
though. It's
To an extent.
different. The only European comic still going on strongly is 2000 AD.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like
And they're weekly.
Oh yeah, Limpin' the Third is a Seinen series,
Mhm.
but the anime
Oh,
really
Lupin.
turns-
Oh, I love Lupin.
Okay,
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Sorry. Go ahead, G. Go ahead.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's still good, but I just realized that the actual manga itself is a Seinen series. Like I
But-
said, the anime heavily tones it down though.
Okay, but
one day I was talking to Lad once, and I was talking about how I had watched Attack on Titan, and he's telling me about how weird the Titans are when they walk, and I'm like, yeah. So you're essentially, here's the concept of Attack on Titan for those of you that don't know. It's that so in the future, humanity it builds these giant walls to protect themselves against giant naked people that eat people. When you explain that out of context, it sounds so horrible, but it's actually awesome. And then
Now-
people, if they bite their hand, can turn into giant naked mechs.
now I will say this: the thing that I think really amped up the anime versus Western comic, the manga versus comic stuff was My Hero Academia actually doing superheroes. Can we agree that was probably
Yeah.
the thing that really turned it up to 11?
Mm-hmm.
I would argue the big three, but after Naruto ended,
All right,
Well,
so,
yeah.
so here's a list of the anime that I watch. Does Avatar: The Last Airbender count?
No, it is not. Hold on. It was an American. It was part of the American anime fad of the early 2000s. Was it inspired by anime? Yes, but it's not considered an anime itself because it was American made.
Now
I have Gundam, obviously.
Yes.
I know that counts. That better count.
Which Gundam series?
Gundam Destiny S.
okay, for me as Gundam Wing.
And I have Gundam Seed. I've watched Record of Ragnarok. I've watched Gundam Requiem for Vengeance.
Oh,
I have
one.
Yeah, I have Naruto on my thing, but I haven't watched it. Oh yeah, Project AKO, where Superman and Wonder Woman's daughter
Yep.
fighting Tony Stark's daughter.
Now here's a question: have you guys ever heard of Gunsmith's Cats?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Okay, that's just the title. It's more it's
Gunsmith Cats.
okay.
Okay.
First of all, it's just the title. It has nothing literally to do with cats. It's about
That's
these
false
two.
advertising. I had to.
Robert, you're just making it too easy at this point.
I know. It's just these two individuals who operate in Chicago. They actually said it in Chicago because they figured they want to have car chases, and they're like, "Hey, the highway is probably much more open in Chicago compared to Japan, to Tokyo."
Okay.
They weren't entirely accurate there, but still. And it's basically about these two, these two individuals who run a gun store, and they're bounty hunters. That's it.
Okay, that actually sounds pretty dope. Oh, here's another anime I watched, Terminator Zero. Please tell me that counts.
It was Japanese made. It was Japanese. Okay, it's as much of an anime as Gotham Knights, Batman Gotham Knights.
How
It's
about
the most-
Cyberpunk Edge Runners?
That uses a similar art and animation style, but I would not count the Edge Runner series as an anime. But it does
The thing is, the part that makes it hard for me to watch anime is because I'm constantly looking over my shoulder, because if someone walks by me and just looks at my screen and sees like weird stuff, I'm gonna have to explain that.
Okay,
Don't worry, it's Japanese.
I would say this.
Shonen is your safest bet. You're not going to see it
Okay.
that much. Shonen titles are your safest bet.
I would say this. If there's one Western-made project that is the closest to being anime, even got an anime, series out of it, would be Ruby.
Ruby had potential. It fell off by book 3, at least in my mind. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, but that's right. You got Ice Queendom, which actually was an anime.
But I lost interest when they killed Pyrrha.
Well, that was volume 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the rest of. I tried to watch. I think the longest I ever got with Ruby was volume 4. Before I was like, oh, I'm bored.
Yeah, for me, it's because I started having a connection to really liking Weiss. It's kept me going.
Yeah, of course. You like the Lois Lane character of that show. I'm like,
Why Weiss is not the Lois Lane character?
yeah, it is. She's snobby and annoying. That's Lois. I'm only kidding. Did any of you guys ever read or familiar with Asterisk and Obelix? Or
Yes,
Tintin?
yes.
Yeah.
Those are all European characters. Yes.
Right. High Rise Invasion and Dead Man Wonderland.
Dead
Explain.
Man Wonderland should have gotten a second season because that one had potential.
Big Elemental brings up Big O. That's one of the few cases where America actually had a second season made.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, John Jones. Okay,
Lice is trash. Worst girl. Oh boy. Oh boy.
that Ruby is trash. So
Okay, do not watch the anime. Do not watch the Tokyo Ghoul anime. You're just setting yourself up for disappointment. The manga is better, and that is all I'm going to say on that.
So the book is better. Where have we heard that before?
The anime, no, it's just with Tokyo Ghoul. It starts strong, but then by the time you get to season 2, the whole thing completely falls apart.
Tenchi Muyo.
What?
I'll admit that's a classic. That is a
Tenchi
classic.
Muyo. Okay,
That's
here's
a
the
classic.
thing. Here's the thing about Tenchi Muyo. It's one of those harem animes, but it's one that actually the harem.
What?
Let me finish. The harem is not the main focus of the story.
So I take it James Gunn's Superman cameos in it.
No.
I'm
Jared, come on, man.
J-Heat, explain.
Basically, it's a space adventure, but
Yes.
the harem aspect is played up as a gag. It's pretty tame, compared to other series we see now. It is tame. It is tame.
But if you watch it, only watch Tenchi Muyo or Tenchi Muyo Ryo-Oki. That's what the full name, or Tenchi Universe. Do not watch Tenchi in Tokyo. That is the worst of them.
That one, I would argue GXP, but
No, GXP at least still ties into the OVA still.
still, it's just they run the gag into the ground, man. Come on.
But it doesn't even have Tenchi in it though, so it doesn't even count.
Like I said, it's a spin-off, and they run the gag into the ground.
Yeah, but I say in Tokyo is still worse. Okay, here's another case of a.
This is a message to the FBI agent that's probably watching me through my webcam. It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
It's not that bad, Jared.
Oh my gosh, Britt. Prison school.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, it's one.
No, but you're on this one. No.
No. All I was gonna say about Prison School was that was the one that slipped in the Gamergate reference.
What the hell are you watching, Britt?
That wouldn't be my first recommendation. Tevia, you sweet summer child, you are better off not knowing.
Okay, here's one I would say it's another case of the manga is way better than the anime. It's also another harem, Love Hina.
Why are there so many harems?
It's Japan, man.
It's the gag of you have this one male character and all these girls want to fight over him. It's Betty and Veronica turned up to 11.
So
Now
that
you
translates to harem?
Okay, no. What I mean is, it's the idea of having two girls fighting. Why have just two girls fight over him when you have a whole bunch more fighting over?
And yeah, not
Okay.
all animes are like that, but you also got to take the cultural subtext into account. Depending on the execution, the gag can really run into the ground. Perfect example. In Naruto, you know how Sakura beats up Naruto anytime he says something stupid?
Oh yeah,
That's actually a popular gag in Japanese culture.
Yep,
But-
it's called Sundres.
Sundres, thank you. But in the manga, it only happens like a couple of times, going through both the Shippuden portion and part 1. Sakura only decks Naruto like a handful of times. The anime drags that gag into the ground.
Same with Back to Love Hina. This whole notion of the main character Naruto decking the main guy Keitaro all the time. She's much more, at least in the manga, she doesn't do it as much. And even then, there's at least a bit more, I won't say justification, but a bit more understanding. Whereas in the anime, she's an other witch.
Inuyasha used the gag too a lot too, but at least the setup is better.
But I'll say also, but Ken Nakamoto, he's one of the main people who is actually in office now, if I recall now, in Japan.
LMAO Cam, this is so fun. Thanks, Britt. I'm glad that you are very happy about this. My God. Every
okay.
time we do episodes talking about harems, I have to talking about anime. I have to look at my monetization thing and go bye.
It's not that bad, Jared.
Oh my God.
Now, okay, back to our main conversation. You're dealing with versatility versus quality because, again, in American culture, we have a lot of. What's the best way I could say this? You are still confined to what's essentially the comics equivalent to a PG-13.
Yeah.
Mainline comics aren't allowed to really deviate away from that. The closest we got was the edginess of the 90s, and that's because they went out of their way to push boundaries. And that was mostly Image.
And now you have to have Black Label, or back in the day with Marvel, Max.
John
and
Jones,
Vertigo.
don't encourage her.
Don't encourage her.
Yeah, don't encourage her. She will force me to watch anime. Like, oh no.
Okay, but anyway, yeah, Jay Heat is right on that.
Yeah, that's just a fundamental truth because especially once you get to post-World War II, comics is mostly seen as a children's medium for the most part.
And then it doesn't help that you had the Comics Code at that point.
Exactly.
Now, the Comics Code Authority was syndicated for a separate issue entirely. Not so much.
But it is what limits things down to superheroes.
That is true.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Because remember, now it's and the funny part about the Comics Code is there was no singular guidelines. It was hyper dependent. It was like what people don't understand about the Comics Code. It's not like they elected a bunch of people and those people stayed on the Comics Code like committee, if you will. No, it was like they were rotated, and people have no idea about comics.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's why you have very inconsistent rules. McFarlane talked about like where everyone would say that like, oh, you can't do this because of the Comics Code, and he would go, what even is in the Comics Code? And then, they would give this weird back and forth answer. And he goes, you don't even know what's in the Comics Code, do you?
You're just censoring things left and right.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, you know what the saddest part was? The person that Dave came up with the Comics Code just to try and get people off their back, they didn't realize the person put in charge of the Comics Code actually believed in it.
Oh, you will, Jared. He will laugh.
No, I'm not kidding, though. That was the whole thing. They never expect anyone to take it seriously when they implement it. But the person put in charge actually be like, I believe in this fully and I'm going to enforce it. And DC and Marvel and everyone else were like, oh no.
I will say this, though. The only way you could get, at least back in the 80s, the only way you could get around it is if you told social commentary stories.
Yeah.
Like Judas Contract, for example. It was a commentary on quid pro quo or abuse, quid pro quo, and transactional relationships. Claremont and X-Men use this format a lot more than DC did, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the other thing that you also have I think that there was a story where Stan Lee was asked to write a Spider-Man story dealing with the drug issue, but the Comics Code said no, and he goes, I was asked by the government to do this!
The federal government to do this!
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? No. So I'm like, okay. Oh, I love the part that got DC to really abandon it was Neil Adams had drawn the cover of Roy, like,
oh yeah, you say my Warrior's a junkie?
Yeah, exactly. It's that famous cover of Rory that's about to get a heroin injection. And then it's like, and then he like goes, here's our cover. And then Julia Schwartz is like, duh. But yeah, so that's the thing. And we'll talk about, actually, we should do an entire episode on the Comics Code because that's an episode in and of itself. But again,
back to.
The Boys comic was part of a licensing deal. So that one you really, and by the time the Boys wrapped up, the Comics Code Authority was being phased out until it was officially disbanded in 2011.
Wait, how did DC abandon the Boys comics? They never had anything to do with the Boys.
Again, DC didn't publish the Boys comics. I'm pretty sure Image distribute.
No, Dynamite.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what do you mean?
Well, I think he's saying Wild. I think he's thinking Wildstorm.
But I don't think Wildstorm ever did the Boys either.
No, they never did. That was Dynamite.
He's saying DC did Wildstorm as a separate title then got merged into the New 52.
No,
No. He meant Wildstorm Comics, I think.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm about to say, what the boys have to do with this?
Boys was not part of Wildstorm.
No, it's always been Dynamite.
Always been. You're thinking of Authority.
Oh yeah, that was part of Wildstorm. Superhero comics can learn from the Shoten handle fights and power systems.
No, completely different structure. No.
Completely different structure.
Here's the thing. Here's what people have to understand. It may look like stuff could translate over, but it really can't.
Let me put it this way. There's a reason why when people look at, say, superhero characters compared to manga, especially when Death Battle does it, superhero characters have actual feats to measure up to.
Mm-hmm.
Manga, it doesn't really have specific feats. They're just generalized feats. Would you agree with that, Jay Heat?
Yes, because you have something that's realistic, that's relatively realistic, and something you can realistically measure comparing one character to another.
Again, look at what Superman compared to Goku. Superman's had these impossible feats that Goku can never even match up to.
Yeah, it wouldn't work in American comics and stuff because you would need to change a lot of the way American comics work in order to implement that.
And here's the other thing is also you got to remember this. That would mean you'd be stretching out fights far longer than needed.
Yeah, exactly. DCKO would be all one fight.
I mean, come on. Remember the joke? How Frieza, it's gonna take 5 minutes for this planet to blow up. Hours pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's because the anime had to drag it out. But yeah.
No, but you get my point still.
Yeah,
even in the manga, that ain't no 5 minutes.
Yeah, but anyway, I think it's a good place to leave it before that's going to demonetize the entire channel. But yeah, so that was entertaining as hell. Oh my god!
And you people wonder why you don't talk about anime that much on here.
You wonder why I'm not a thing. European comics actually invest with American comics? I mean, let me put it this way: if you enjoy European comics, great, absolutely. But could they actually compete?
No. There's a reason why. For one, again, it's the weekly format as well.
Yeah, exactly.
For here in the West, here's the other thing people have to remember. In European comics, it's shorter stories printed out weekly.
Yeah.
Like when they would do Marvel UK, they would take one normal issue and that would be split at the very least 2 separate issues across, in the UK weekly.
Mm-hmm. Tevia says, how do we fix the weekly comics problem? Why would we? I don't.
Well, right. At least the way the big two do it, they're contracted for a strict period of time, depending on sales success. But at the very least, you get the equivalent of 1 volume, which is roughly 6 issues.
Right. But yeah.
And in that time, either the book does well and it continues on to an ongoing, or the book stagnates or declines and you eventually drop.
No, you meant weekly as in release a week.
Okay, the big two would not be able to pull that off because do you know how long it takes to get a manuscript submitted and approved?
Let me put it this way: the very fact that 52 actually happened well is a miracle.
Or Trinity.
Or Trinity, yes, the good Trinity, not the bad Trinity.
But
Trinity?
The Trinity mini series that lasted a whole year.
Oh,
the one that Kurt Busiek and Mark Bagley did. But here's the thing. Again, like I said, it's over here in the States, a weekly series would have to be full issues, full 22-page issues. Whereas over in the UK, like I said before, there's much like 11-page stories mixed in with some other anthology stories released weekly.
Yeah. All right. So, Jay Heat, where can we find you and what have you got going on your channel, brother?
Okay, you can find me at Jheat Blaze or Jheat75. I mostly do anime, games, reviews, just mostly what comes up. As for new video ideas, Wasted Potential, I'm getting that off the ground. And there was another one I was planning, but to be determined. But I mostly do that, and I might start doing Sword Tour videos again. So that's fun.
Hell yeah.
And Robert.
Yep, I got some PTNs in the can. They'll be working up to 666. We'll be covering this bad girl.
Oh yeah.
Didn't they get a TV show on ABC a few years back?
CW.
Oh,
Mm.
well, that explains
That should tell you all you got to know about that show, Jay Heat.
Actually, it lasted a while, but here's the thing: it removes most of the mysticalness or the otherworldliness from this, and just focuses on a zombie girl who eats brains and can read the person's thoughts of the brain that she ate.
Okay.
They just kept that portion.
So basically, True Detective, but with zombies.
But even then, they don't focus too much on the zombiness of it.
As for Comics League, Super Wonder Legacy, Britt and I will be rebooting Superman and Wonder Woman. Be ready because we hold nothing back. Movie night is Conan the Barbarian, and Amazon Answers. I'm gonna be doing a Wonder Woman themed question and answer session, like the days of old with Amazon Answers. And yeah, that's what I got. And be sure to continue backing Athena. Stay at work, everyone. And we will see you guys in the next one. Stay heroic. Remember, Steve Trevor's a sack of moldy potatoes. We'll see you guys later. And where's the outro? Where's the outro? Where's the outro? Bye-bye.